Now, the way this live stream is going to work, actually, you know what? Let me start off like this. Welcome to another Private Label Masters YouTube live stream. Um, I like to come on live here every 2 weeks to a month or so and just bring some value to you guys. I spend most of my time with my VIP students. We do a live stream like this every single week. It's more rapid fire Q&A though, and then some value bombs in there too. And it lasts about an hour and a half to sometimes 3 hours. So that's every Tuesday at 11 in my student group. But I do like to come on here regularly from time to time to also show the public some love, all you loyal YouTube subscribers. So today, what we're gonna do is I have like a couple topics that I'll talk about, and then we'll get into some Q&A. So if you have some questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll buzz through there after I get done, talking about a couple other subjects, and hopefully I can provide you some value, all right? And if you get some value out of this, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you're not a subscriber, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you know every single time I come live. Because a lot of times I will answer questions for you guys, all right? So again, if you haven't subscribed yet or followed me on Instagram, make sure to follow me. At the end of this little live stream, I'm going to pick a winner off of there and I'm going to send you a gift, okay? So make sure to go do that. All right. Shout out to the person who gave me the thumbs down. I love you. Every little bit of engagement helps the YouTube algorithm. Tell your friends too. So let's see who we got here. We have a few different people. Whew. All right, I'm gonna get on the spectacles so I look intelligent. All right, so who we got here? We have, let me say a shout out to everybody. We have Ashish, Hustle Millennial. The mask is hilarious, man. I'll wear that mask because I care about you guys. It's all about you guys. Vishal, what's up? Mobile Ads Webmaster. Nothing like the business profile name. Hey, Tim Ninja. What's up, Ninja? Back at you. Editha. Hey, Tim. Hey, what's up? Ride with me. I'll ride with you. Hello, how you doing? Taylor Bird, nice to see you and other successful students. Shout out to Anna, one of the best. Nathan, why the mask? I told you, man, when you wear a mask because you care about others, I care about you guys. That's why I started off with it. Suchit, hello. I wasn't trolling, man. I wasn't trolling with the mask. I was just showing you guys that I care about you. What's up, McKean and Katie? McKean is another really successful student in the VIP group. He's one of our moderators and coaches. He does over 6 figures a month. Shout out to McKean. Who else we got here? I'm just going to say what's up first. Milpitas, that's not too far from me. I'm North Bay. Nathan says he thinks all the money is getting to you. Oh, man. What am I going to do? What am I going to do, Nathan? Milton, what's up? Ice Baby. Renee is from Los Angeles. She's from India. All about the Bonillas from the Bay Area, aka the Yay area. Nice to see you. Milton from Brooklyn. Hey, our brother was in Brooklyn for a long time. Samuel is not only in Romania, he's on the balcony and he's an FBA seller. Hee hee. Nice to see you. Jared, Ottawa, Canada. Saigon. Nathan's in San Diego. Jay is in New York. Who else we got here? Right with me, he says he's in Baltimore. Algeria, that's crazy. And on a K, 343. Vahid, Houston, Texas. Khalid, Montreal. All right, what's up? What's up, Ted? What's up, Munez? What's up, Wahid? All right, so we're done with the pleasantries. Let's get into the live stream. Remember, if you aren't already following me on Instagram, follow me. I'm going to give out a prize at the end of this to somebody. And also in my next YouTube video, if you're watching the replay on this, follow me there. I'm going to give you a prize too. All right, so what are we going to talk about today on this beautiful Saturday afternoon? You know, I'm up here in Northern California. There's always fires. It's like a new thing up here in Northern California. If it ain't lit, you're in the wrong place. And California seems to be always lit up. All right, so let's start talking. All right. You know, I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and he referred to Amazon. I loved this. I loved this. He referred to Amazon as the stock market for consumer goods. Or I'm going to repeat that. Amazon is the stock market for consumer goods. Now, why is that just like the perfect way to describe it? You know, when you go to the store, there would be an outrage if one day you went to the store and like the bread was like one price, and then you went later and it's like higher or lower, and it's like, or you're like midday and it's like bouncing around, right? That'd probably drive you nuts, right? Now, as a seller, this is really awesome. It's also good for a buyer too, because on Amazon there's healthy competition, and with that healthy competition means that if a product niche or something is too like weighted or overloaded, top heavy, the prices will come down and you as a buyer will be able to get some crazy deals. But also as a seller though, Amazon being the stock market of consumer goods, when you have a good product and sometimes demand hits and there's just a scarcity there, you really can play with your prices a lot. And also over the lifetime of your product, as you start to get more momentum and you start to get more reviews, a lot of times you can require a higher price out of the consumer. So it's pretty exciting. I'll tell you a story real quick where I've seen this to be the case. Now, I'm in one market where I've seen, you know, especially due to the whole COVID thing and people like not going to in-store shopping, they're having to shop online. Different different markets have started to like really become like really hot, right? And one market that I was already selling in, I already have a brand in that niche. I've had this brand in there for over a year. I probably have maybe 10 or more SKUs in it. Well, it saw a major uptick just recently, like in the last month and a half, and it's been insane. I've been able to raise some of my prices to 100% more. There's products where maybe I would usually sell at $40, I'm selling at $80, $90. And the quickest I can get my inventory is how fast I can sell it. And so now I'm getting margins, you know, high 50s, some even almost 60% net margin, not ROI, but net margin. It's been insane. And that's really because Amazon is the stock market of consumer goods. When there's a high demand and you have a good product, you can raise your price, you can play with that, and next thing you know, you're getting all sorts of incredible profit margins because of that. When you pick a good product in a good niche, and when sometimes at certain times of year. So that brings to mind Q4. Now Q4 is coming up, and you're going to have products that maybe will sell for a standard price. Let's say $15, $20, you know, almost 10 and a half months out of the year. Then November hits, like mid-November, December, and where's the demand? It just all starts rushing in, right? Because Q4 is when people go on like this buying frenzy, don't they? Well, during that time, I've always recommended my students play with your prices, because during Q4, a lot of people, they're not really price shopping. They're like impulse buying. They're like, you know what? I got to get these gifts for some friends. Let me just get on here. Let me click, 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 knock it out here real quick. Boom, they made their purchases. They're out. And what are they looking for? They're looking for what's on the front page, what has some decent reviews, what looks nice, and they just buy. They don't really shop around too much. So given that Amazon is the stock market of consumer goods, when you see that crazy demand coming up, you're going to have an opportunity this Q4 especially to play with your prices and probably get some crazy high margins. Now, another thing I'm really excited about this Q4 is it's going to be a Q4 that's like unprecedented in history. Because every single year there's been like this gradual shift to buying more stuff online, convenience factor, whatever, things like that. Well, this year it's going to be like exploding to another level. And I'm really excited to see mainly like, can Jeff Bezos keep up with it? Have I ordered enough products for it? And what really is the demand going to be like? Because there are so many retail stores that just are not getting shoppers anymore. And everybody wants to just stay in the convenience of their house, make their shopping, make their purchases. And a lot of times, with this whole COVID thing, there's a good chance they're not going to be having these big group gatherings, to exchange gifts or whatever. They're just going to be sending them in the mail to each other. And so instead of like sending them to yourself, a lot of what people are going to be doing is, marking them gift wrap on Amazon and shipping them directly to people. And so I don't even know, like, I don't even know what to expect coming for this Q4, but I know it's going to be big. So I hope you guys are gearing up for Q4. And for you guys who are just like sitting on the fence and like thinking about it, you're going to want to hopefully get in quick so you can get a product up by Q4. If you don't hit this Q4, it's okay, but make sure to pay close attention. Like if you're in different Facebook groups in regards to Amazon, like watch what happens this Q4 because it's going to be exciting. You're going to see a lot of people making like some crazy numbers this Q4 because everyone is going to be shopping online. They're even saying there's not even going to be like a Black Friday or anything like that in person just because they can't have crowds. So if there's no Black Friday in person, you if you look online and you see like the madness at Walmart on Black Friday, like if you type in right now Black Friday Walmart in YouTube and see the complete chaos, right? There are people fighting, there's people like going nuts, smashing each other, running over each other. Guess what? All of those buyers, they're not going to Walmart. They're not going to Target. They're not going to any places in person. They're all going online. And who takes all the online sales? Amazon. So I can't wait. And I'm excited for every single one of you other sellers who are like gearing up for that. Again, if you're just showing up to the live, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Private Label Masters. I'm going to pick somebody. I'm just going to look on my phone. I'm going to pick somebody out of there. I'm going to have you message me on Facebook and I'm going to send you a gift. Okay, so make sure you do that. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and follow also because in my next video, I'm going to pick another person to send a gift to also. And I am going to do a Q&A section this year. Not this year, this live stream. I am going to do a Q&A this live stream. So make sure if you do have some questions, even if you can't stay for this full live stream, ask them in the chat and I'll do my best to get to it. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, part of the reason I have a YouTube channel is also to like document my own journey as an entrepreneur. And primarily, this channel is basically based around Amazon selling. And so I'll periodically we'll post updates or when I hit new records or things like that. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about, my journey and a couple other things. So if you look back, if you've been following me for any sort of time, there's been certain like goals that I had. All right. One goal, for example, if you go back further enough in my channel, was I saw somebody in a Facebook group sell $100,000 in one single day, and it was on Prime Day. And I remember looking at that, and I was like, $100,000 in one day? There's no way. Nobody can do that. Like, that is impossible. There's people doing 100,000 a month, but 100,000 in one single day? No way. But I made it a goal that by the time next Prime Day came around, I'd be ready. And I surpassed that $100,000 goal that Prime Day, the following Prime Day. I saw it possible. I said, there's no chance. Then I made it a goal to do that. And I did and passed it. And I made another video based on that. I think it's called like $190,000 on Prime Day or something like that. So check that out. So that was one of my goals. And I want to show you guys in the last 7 days, check this out. This is the last 7 days. So in the last 7 days, I've done $600,000 in sales in the last 7 days. And of those, 3 of those days were all over $100,000. So what went from trying to go on Prime Day, the hottest sales day on Amazon of the entire year, to hit 100,000, I'm able to hit now $100,000 a day consecutive during a standard week during the year. Okay, so that was one goal. Now, another goal I had, if you've been watching my channel a while, was to hit $1 million in a 30-day time period. And I documented this. I did a 3-part video series. If you haven't seen that, check that out on my channel. And I had heard somebody, I saw somebody like in a video, and she had said, I sold $1 million in a 30-day time period. And I said, there's no way. There's no way $1 million in a 30-day time period. That's insane. Well, I made it a goal. I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. And the funny thing is I actually contacted this person and I said, hey, you know what? You motivated me when I saw that you sold $1 million in 30 days. And you know what she said? Oh, I actually had never done that. I think you read it wrong. The max I've ever done was 500,000 in 30 days. I was like, hey, well, it doesn't matter to me. Thank you for providing me that motivation or making me think that it was possible. So, anyways, I made that a goal. And not this past December, I think it was the December before that. I actually did that and I surpassed it and I blew it out of the water. I think I hit 1.4 million, right? And that was during Q4. Well, here we are now. And this is this month, okay, the last 30 days. And remember, my goal at the time was 1 million in 30 days. So here's where I'm at now. I'm going to refresh this. I'm at $2.2 million in 30 days, right? And you can see here, I have 5 days over $100,000 just in the past like 10 days. So if you put your mind to it, you set out a goal, you work hard, you don't get distracted with shiny objects and squirrel, 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 you know, and running off, and you stay committed and focused to it, you can do so many things in this business, okay? So if you're just starting out, whether you have 1 product, 5 products, 10 products, look at people like myself or other large sellers and don't think you know that's impossible. Set it as a goal. Like, I'm going to do $100,000 in a month, or I'm going to do 100,000 in a day, or I'm going to do 1 million, and just work hard at it. And next thing you know, you can get there. And I'm living proof of this. All right. So another thing I wanted to talk about is I know there's always, there's always people, and I've seen them. So I have a public Facebook group and also a private Facebook group. And the private one is students, and the public one, anyone can join. If you want to join that one, just go into Facebook and type in Private Label Masters. And you can join. They're just going to ask you a couple questions and you can get in. I think there's like almost 30,000 people in there. So I've seen people join that public Facebook group and have been very engaged in it and in other groups for several years, and yet still haven't gotten started for whatever reason. Now, if this rings true with yourself, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people who watch this. All right, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Like, there's many different reasons why a person hasn't started on something like this, right? There could be different circumstances you have. Maybe you didn't have the funds or whatever. There could be other things like real natural thing is like it's just really scary to do something that you've never done before, right? And that's so further off the path of what your peers and everyone else are. There's a quote I want to read to you out of this book, Dalio Principles. I shared this recently with my student group, and I may have even shared this on the channel before, but I want to read you this sentence, this couple sentence, because you're only going to have that life of your dreams if you decide to reach out and grab it. All right? If you decide to reach out and grab it, that's the only way you can make things happen in life. Sometimes random things fall and you're in the right place at the right time, but for the large majority of things, you need to go out and go after it. That dream job, you had to apply for it. Your college degree or whatever it is, you had to do all the hard work to get it, right? That dream girl or dream guy, there's a good chance you may have had to go talk to them, right? There's so many things, right? But when it comes to having like the future or the dreams that you want for your future or your family, you're the one who has to reach out and get it. And so I want to read this little blurb out of this book that hopefully can provide you some motivation, all right? It says here, imagine that in order to have a great life, you have to cross a dangerous jungle. You can stay safe where you are and have an ordinary life, or you can risk crossing the jungle to have a terrific life. How would you approach that choice? Take a moment to think about it because it is a sort of choice that, in one form or another, we all have to make. All right? So if you have yet to take a chance on yourself, to take a chance on those wild dreams that you might not think is possible, now's the time, now's the time. There's no time like the present. So anyways, a good book. One of the things I like to do when I read books is to highlight them. I'm not a big fan of audiobooks. Maybe that's the new age thing and I'm getting kind of old, but I like to be able to, let me pick out something off the shelf. Let me catch up. Let me see here. Oh, here's a point here I really liked. Why did I highlight that? All right. Look at this point. I'll read this one to you. It says, all sorts of emotions come to me while I'm playing, and those emotions can either help me or hurt me. This is talking about working. If I can reconcile my emotions with my logic and only act when they're aligned, I make better decisions. I forgot that point, but because I highlighted in that book and I have it right here on the shelf, I can grab it and look at it. So I encourage you, don't just do audiobooks. I know you can probably fly through them, but when you have regular books, you can give it your sole focus. You can highlight points and you can refer back to them as opposed to just having something play in your ear and you're only getting a little piece of it, okay? Now, another thing I wanted to do was I wanted to give a couple shout outs to some of my students, okay? Again, if you're just tuning in, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Private Label Masters. At the end of this live stream, I'm going to go on my phone, go on the Instagram account, and I'm going to pick out a new follower, and I'm going to send you a gift, okay? And if you're watching the replay on my next video, I'm also going to pick another person. So maybe I'll pick a few for my next one. You never know. So the chances are good. Again, follow me, Private Label Masters. Is an interesting story on there. So I wanted to give a little shout out to a few of my students. So every single week, we're always sharing our wins in our student group, okay? And I just want to give a quick shout out to them because it takes a lot to, I remember when I was brand new and there just feels like a lot of information. And I remember ordering my first sample and I remember my first order and, first time talking to someone in China, first time navigating the Alibaba website, all this kind of stuff, right? And so I love when I see people sharing some wins. So I'm going to share a few of these with you guys just because I love to shout out my students because they make me so proud, everything they're doing. All right. So the first one, let's see here as it loads. Again, if you're just tuning in here, um, I'm going to do Q&A after I show a couple of these students, and I will answer some questions. So if you have some questions, make sure to put them in the chat because I will get there. All right, so here's one student here. This is, let's see here. This is Vlad, all right? Vlad says he shared, sales are climbing. I'm excited to grow this further. Net margins at around 40%. And someone keeps messaging me. So this is yesterday's sales. He made $426 profit. Shout out to Vlad. Proud of you, man. Let's see here. Rigo just got his first sample. Shout out to Rigo. This is all just this current week. Here's Taylor. Taylor's showing his success. He's getting started. Shout out to Taylor. First sample for Peter, August 13th. Let's see here. First sample for Susan. She's getting her journey started. Hugh O'Reilly says he just got the #1 new release for his category. This was 6 days ago. Craig, let's see what Craig's shouting out here. Check it out. Craig just got his seller account approved. Shout out to Craig. What did Chet? Chet just did something here too, just a couple days. Chet just got ungated so he can sell in toys now based on something he learned in the group. We got some more here. I'm just going to shout out a couple more. Let's see here. Oh, here's an interesting one. So this is Brendan. Brendan says he's been using one of the campaigns that I teach in the PPC section of the training. He says, when was this? This is August 14th. Let me see if I can erase. I've been running the Ultimate campaign since May 18th. So far, I got an extra 17,000 in sales for my wholesale and private label products that I otherwise would never have gotten. Right there, paid for the course. Looking forward to full throttle once I get my private label products. So let me show you the screenshot that he showed of his, let's see here. So if we can see this, he spent $1,000. He made 17,000 sales at 5% ACOS. So shout out to him for putting some of the training into action. And then there is one more I want to show you guys that I thought was pretty interesting. Let's see here. Here's another one. So this is August 19th. There's another student. He said, I'll share this one with you. Wanted to show proof of how important it is the product's quality and USP are to killing it on Amazon. Below is a chart showing before and after upgrading my very first product ever from a mediocre quality USB to top of the line. While doing nothing else differently, I'm now selling consistently at volumes only seen during Prime Day prior to the upgrade. This product went from generating about $1,000 profit to about $3,000 in profit. Tim Sanders' mantra is on point. Let me show you the graph that he posted. So here he is right here. You can see this is Prime Day on the one side. And then he upgraded and followed a few aspects of the course. And you can see here, now he's like killing it past his Prime Day sales. So shout out to those students. That was just in the past week. There's a ton more in there having some crazy success. I'm super proud of you guys. And I can't wait to see you guys on Tuesday where we do another live stream. So let me go through here and answer some questions. All right, again, if you're just tuning in, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Private Label Masters. At the end of this video, I'm going to pick a winner for a free gift. All right, let's see here. And let me show you another thing real quick. Oh, you know another thing I want to show you guys was I showed you some gross profit, right? I showed you gross sales. I showed you the Amazon account. But what a lot of people don't show is their actual profit, okay? So I want to show you this. This is the last 30 days, okay? So I showed you 2.2 million in the last 30 days, right, for the gross sales. This is the net profit. So that's $742,000 profit. That includes PPC. That includes all Amazon fees. So I'm not just selling a bunch of product at low margins. I'm selling product at good margins, and I'm trying to build my little e-com empire, right? So let me get to some questions. And oh, before that, one more thing. I want to give you guys a couple tips, right? Maybe you know some of these tips, maybe you don't, but I'm going to share a few anyways. So if you're a new seller, right, and you sign up for an Amazon professional account, it's like 40 bucks a month. Let's say you don't sell anything for the first 3 months, okay? And you're like, darn it, I paid $120, you know? You can actually message support and tell them, you know, you haven't sold anything. Could you please refund those 3 months? And they will give you a refund on your professional selling account fees. So if you're like, man, I'm worried about it. I'm worried about, you know, like opening an account because I'm gonna have to start paying. Well, if you don't sell anything, you can actually message seller support and they'll give you that refund. So hopefully that can save you guys some money. Also, it's nice because if you can sign up for a professional seller account, even if you're not selling yet, it's good to like get acquainted with Seller Central and the Amazon platform, because a lot of it isn't very intuitive. And but the more you can play around with it, the more knowledgeable and comfortable you will have in that. And now you don't have to worry about paying any fees with it. All right. So another tip that I want to mention is that previously in auto PPC campaigns, you would always get ASINs or other products that would show up, and it would be really irritating because um, it'd be super irritating because you would get these negative, you'd get these ASINs that would be eating your budget. You couldn't do anything about it. It was just such a pain. I remember everybody, even students, were like, "Tim, I'm having these ASINs. I'm having these ASINs. What do I do with them?" I'm like, "There's really nothing you can do." Well, recently they made a change, and it's been amazing. And you can actually go into your automatic campaigns now and negate certain specific ASINs that are wasting your budget. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's different types of um, PPC campaigns, all right? And one of them is called an auto campaign. And with an auto campaign, you basically say, Amazon, here's my listing. You go out there and you find out what keywords you think it'll do well for. And you go out there, and if you see another listing or another product that you think my product should go on, go ahead and put it out there, right? And advertise my product in these places. Well, we could adjust what keywords that they were showing us for, but sometimes they would put your product, let's say you had this book, Ray Dalio Principles, and this is your product, and they were putting it on like this weight loss other book, and people would click on it, and then like no one would buy it because they'd be like, oh, Ray Dalio Principles, I wonder if that's a good weight loss book. And then they're like, this is a business book, and they wouldn't buy it. And you were getting clicks on this all the time. Well, there was no way that you could say, don't show my Ray Dalio book on that weight loss product, please, right? And there was never a way. Now there's a way. So that's a new change. Also, a new change that's either you might see it in your account already or it's coming really soon is you're going to be able to put videos on your listings whether you have brand registry or not. So sometimes you go on Amazon, you're doing some shopping, and you click and there's a video of the product. I think we all would say, wow, like a video that really, like, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 10,000. So now you're going to be able to put videos on your listings without even having brand registry. So that's pretty exciting, and especially if you're a brand new seller. Another tip that I wanted to give you is that if you have brand registry in one marketplace, you then can have brand registry in any marketplace. Okay, so let's say you have brand registry in the United States and you have a US trademark that's gone in, and you have brand registry. You can also get brand registry access in any other country. Now, your enforceable trademark, it is only like enforceable in the country that you got it in. But because you have brand registry in one market, you can get in other markets, and thus you can get all of the benefits of having brand registry. That in A+ enhanced brand content, sponsored brand ads, things like that. So again, just a tip, if you have brand registry and you're in the US and maybe you also sell in the UK, you can request brand registry in the UK based on your brand registry in the US, that trademark, and they will let you have that. Okay, so make sure to go get on that so you can improve your conversion rate on your listings. All right, so time to get into some Q&A. All right, again, if you haven't followed me yet, privatelegalmaster.com. I'm gonna look right now, see if anyone's actually followed that. Let's see here. Yeah, we got some people coming in. Maybe there's some of you. You can see them all starting to come in. 21 minutes, 17 minutes, 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you something. All right, a prize. I'm going to pick one person out of there. So follow. And if you're watching the replay, I'm going to pick a few people maybe out of my next video and give you guys something too. So I'm going to start at the top here and let's start answering some questions to give you guys some more value. All right, Vanilla Ice. Let's see here, 1 second. Vanilla Ice Baby says, hey Tim, best form of advertising when launching a brand new product? Always PPC, my friend, always PPC. PPC allows you, for those who don't know what PPC is, you basically tell Amazon you're willing to pay a little bit of money per time a person clicks on your product in order for them to show at the very top. All right. So PPC is by far the best form of advertising when launching a product. Vishal says, how much reviews do you use as a criteria to analyze the competition? So typically, I'm not going to try to go into markets when they have like 900 reviews or something like that. I just am not going to do that. Unless my product is differentiated in a way that somebody would come on there, and even if I had 10 reviews, they'd be like, I'd rather have this one than the 900 review one. So I don't really, so like I have like this higher upper level of I typically won't go beyond that and go to compete. But once it gets below that, I'm pretty open. A lot of times, beyond just a review count, I like to look at other things about the competition. I like to look at the product. I like to look at their listing. Is it high quality? I like to look at how quickly they're getting reviews. I like to look at their recent reviews. Are any negatives coming in? Things like that. And that'll show if there's any weak points that I can then get in there and go after and make use of and capture that market. Dowd says, hello, Mr. Tim Centers. Hello. I found a product with low reviews, good demand, and medium competition, but Amazon has 10 products. Knowing the product has endless amounts of design, will I worry about it? No, I wouldn't worry too much about that situation because I know that I'm in markets where there's over 10 different products, and as long as they all have a decent BSR, I'm good. That means the market has some good depth. They can support 10 different sellers. And worst case scenario, look at the market and see like of those 10 sellers, who are seller number 9 and 10? How much are they selling? And if that's all you could sell, would you be happy with that? Because that's kind of worst case scenario. Okay. So look at that. I don't think the way you described it, 10 products, endless amounts of designs, that doesn't sound like something that you need to worry about when it comes to like saturation. I think if you just do your due diligence, you look to see like who are the top guys, what do they have going on? If you want to bring a new design, how does it compare, things like that, then you should be all right. Marlon says, do I pay VAT in foreign countries? Yes, I do. You have to pay VAT like once you get over a certain amount of sales, and I do sell quite a bit in other marketplaces. In the last few days, my PPC, this is Renee. What's up, Renee? In the last few days, my PPC sales have dropped about 90% and organic sales have increased about 70%. Should I turn off PPC? I don't know if I would turn it off. What I would probably do is look to see if you can find a way to identify which of those organic keywords are probably bringing your sales, and most likely those are ones you're ranked well for. And maybe you might consider turning down your bids on those ones. Also, look into your PPC and just continue to manage it. So, like, cull different keywords that are getting clicks and no sales, and if you're getting way less PPC sales and more organic, then if you're not actually getting those clicks, you should be making more money. So that's actually a positive thing. So again, I would look to see if you can find out where the organic ones are coming from and then not waste PPC money on those organic ones because they seem to be doing all right. Suchit says, what is your suggested launch strategy in 2020? So this varies. I always like to have a tiered approach. I go more into this like in my training and all the live streams I talk about in my student group. But I like to go a tiered approach. Start with PPC, start with the price I want. If no traction there, maybe throw in a coupon. If no traction there, start lowering my price. If no traction there, I'll turn to some, launch service, maybe like Rebate Key. No traction there, Facebook ads, ManyChat. So it's like a tiered approach until I start getting traction. And then once I get traction, I push it until I'm ranked. And then I start to pull off the gas on these different ways of launching. And then hopefully organic will take over. FYI, Samuel, with the public service announcement, shipping for FBA has new settings and won't let you send shipments. I found out how to do it. Refresh page and box info pops again. So does date and box size, and it should work. I'm not sure what you're talking about, But if that helps somebody, thank you for sharing. Ride with me, it says he found a product to sell, but he can't find a manufacturer to alter it. Any suggestions? You might reach out to try to find a good sourcing agent and say, hey, here's what I'm looking for. You might also look for a trading company within that niche because they kind of work like sourcing agents. And so look for a trading company in that niche and say, hey, can you find this? And then a lot of times they'll go out and look for it as comparison to like if you contact a factory and they're like, yeah, sorry, we don't have that. Talk to a sourcing agent or a trading company, they'll like get out the magnifying glass and the binoculars and the telescope and they'll start going out there trying to find it. Let's see here. Marlon says, do you use domestic suppliers for any of your products? No, not at this time. I haven't found, if I was doing like some beauty product, like something for your skin, or if I was trying to do like some supplements, something like healthy, that it was very important, the like that aspect of it, then I would look into it. But from what I've found is, yeah, from what I've found is that overseas, you're always going to get more bang for your buck. And the quality actually isn't that much different. You just got to make sure that you're doing quality control, like doing inspections, make sure the product fits the description of what you want it to be. And if you watch shows like Shark Tank, right, where you have like these guys, I would love to be on a show like that, where you have these very successful businessmen who have helped run many companies, one of the first things they say is, what's your cost of goods? How much does it cost to produce? Where are you producing this? Oh, you're in the US? Why haven't you gone on overseas, right? And unless they have a crazy great reason why they want to say made in the USA or something like that, they're always recommended to go overseas. You don't see Apple, like pumping out iPhones in Texas, right? They're all overseas because money goes further in those countries. You don't have to pay as much, and it's not like you're shortchanging people. That's just what money goes further, right? And if you can watch the quality control, and then people have crazy work ethic, then a lot of times you're better off not going domestic, and that's why I've chosen to do that myself. Let's see here. Scrolling. Let's see here. Vahid says, I sent you too many messages on Facebook Messenger. I didn't hear from you. Hey, Vahid, if you're a student, post in the Facebook group. That's where we're at, man. If every student could just PM me like that, that'd be crazy. So post in the group, tag me. I'll be there to help you, my friend. Ted says, I'm a first-time seller. At what point do you negotiate hard with suppliers? After you've received samples and know who you want to go with? So one of the things I would recommend is doing a little research. So in the link below this, the description, it's like a 25-minute video about my training, but in there I talk about a little section, like a pro tip, and it comes to having good relationships with your suppliers, which will lead you to the best prices. All right, and it has to do with guanxi. So if you want to know like how to get the best prices, I recommend watching that video and checking out that one tip in there about guanxi and what that means and what to do with it. I definitely recommend like, I don't know, I think hard negotiation. I don't know if I would ever use that tactic with a Chinese supplier. I would use strategic negotiations, and because sometimes you can push hard and you might get your way, but the quality will go down too. So you got to find a balance of like what's competitive, what seems like a pretty good deal, but not like flexing too hard on a supplier so that they end up shortchanging you on the product. Let me see here. Do you have, Josi says, do you have any experience with Seller Central accounts that you closed but still are open in the Amazon system that cause related account issues? Um, I don't have any there, but all you got to do is, like reach out to Amazon through seller support and kind of tell them your situation. You'd be like, hey, I had another account, I closed it. I know you're only supposed to have one account. Can you just make sure that we're all in, all good? And they should help you with that situation. Jay says, wow, I didn't think about the Black Friday thing. This Q4 will be absolutely bonkers. Yeah, man, it's going to be nuts. I'm excited. So Jay is actually another one of our moderators in the student group. He does over $500,000 a month. He provides great info for students too. What are your top 2 product research apps? So I would say my number 1 favorite product research app is Keepa. I know Helium 10 has something similar to Keepa, but I just like the Keepa chart. Um, and then I'd say it's a tie between Jungle Scout and Viral Launch. Jungle Scout's the OG. Jungle Scout's the first one to come out with the product research software that Viral Launch copied and improved a couple things on that Helium 10 has copied. So I always got to give shout outs to Greg Mercer and Jungle Scout because those guys are the OGs, and without them, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. And then everyone else is kind of like copycats, and sometimes, they make a better copycat. But so I would say Keepa, and then I would say Viral Launch and Jungle Scout. Let's see here. So Ride With Me says, I would have to leave the video to join Instagram. Oh, so you're probably watching on your phone. Hey, you can do it after, my friend. Fish says, hi, Mark. I'm not sure who Mark is. I have a question for you. I wanted to check how a product can be listed in multiple categories and have each of these categories of the product. So usually when you list your product, you can only choose one category, but for some odd reason, sometimes Amazon will just put you in another category. I'm not sure. You used to be able to choose multiple categories back in the day. They also call them browse nodes, but I haven't found a simple way to do that now. So you pick the best one. I typically recommend looking at your competitors, the ones who are doing the best, and then choosing a category that they kind of like have shown to do well and to fit your product. And the reason I say that and not picking some, obscure random category is because a lot of people use like the filtering section on the side. They do a search and then they filter it on the side of the page. And so if you're listing something that's a baby product and you're listing it in a home and kitchen because you're like trying to be clever, well, all the mothers, if they're like, man, I don't want to see home and kitchen stuff, I want to see baby, and they click that, your stuff's not going to show up. Theru says, if I'm launching a product with a bundle, but the bundle costs more than the average selling price in the niche as no one's offering the same bundle, how can I know if people are happy to pay the higher cost? So there is no special way that you're going to be able to know this. You can try to use a tool like PickFu, Pikfu. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a split testing thing. You can enter private label masters as a code, you get 50% off. But that's kind of like a split test. You could take like a top competitor and then you basically can ask a question, be like, would you buy this or this for these prices? And then you could target like your demographic and then ask them to answer and why. And you might be able to get some information there. Other than that, you can't really know. Like your gut intuition and talking to a lot of people in that target demographic is the only way that you're really going to know if your bundle might sell well. Because that's one thing you want to be careful of. Like if you're bundling, like you see a main product that sells well and you're like, ooh, I'm going to make a bundle and you want to add these other things to it, you want to make sure you don't price out the average buyer. Because the average buyer is like, I only needed this. That bundle looks nice, but I want to pay an extra 40%. If it's an extra 10%, maybe I'd consider it, and you might get people like that. But take that into consideration. Hi, Tim. How do you manage to launch multiple products at the same time? Pretty simple. It's actually the same. The same method, whether you're launching one or two or five, is you go through the same process. You keep an eye on the products as you're launching them. You keep an eye on the keyword rank, and then you kind of like turn off the launch aspects of the launch once you start getting that organic rank. And that's about it. It's actually, when you're a brand new seller, a lot of this stuff feels like it's coming at you 100 miles per hour. But after you've been doing it a while, it imagine when you first learn to drive and you're like going the freeway for the first time, and it's like nerve-wracking and it feels like so many things to look at. And then now let's take you've been driving for a while and you're getting on like 7-lane traffic, bumper to bumper, and you have to cut all the way over to the carpool lane, but you do it with a breeze. Why is that? You just get more used to it. And so that's the same thing with launching products. After you do it a little bit, your tolerance level, your skill level, you just become more at ease with it, and you can do more of them. I think the most products at once I launched was like 16 at once, but I'm going to try to launch over 50 at once. That's my next goal. Anna says, I'm thinking of starting on FBA, but don't have much capital to start. What do you suggest? Well, Anna, I think, first of all, you're to be like commended for even looking for other opportunities, right? Like this is a different opportunity than the traditional route. But what I would do is you want to save like, I would prefer you to save $3,000 to $6,000 for your actual product. The more the better. Like the more money you have, the better chance of your success, right? Because you're not so stressed out, all these types of things. So I know right now it's pretty terrible with COVID and it's kind of hard, but there are a lot of different ways to make money out there. DoorDash, Uber Eats, just wear your mask. If you do have a regular job, trying to do some overtime, and then also looking at your spending and try to cut different areas of your spend so that you have more money. Now, that being said, I wouldn't stop learning about Amazon until you've made the money. I've often told even people who will be interested in getting in my training, I'll tell them like it's totally smart and acceptable, and I see many people do this, but it's to earn, to earn while you learn, to earn while you learn. That way, while you're learning, bam, you're cruising along still, right? So make sure you look at what you're spending money on, find other ways to make more money. And then once you have money for something like a training, I always recommend people, even if it's not my training, I just recommend you to shortcut the process because it's a large learning curve. And if you can learn from somebody who has had a lot of success themselves, you'll jumpstart a lot of things, okay? So do those couple things. And if you join our training, I hope I can help you. Brian says that monthly graph is crazy. Are you scheduling your ads to turn off or go lower on the weekends? Your weekend sales are so much lower than your weekday numbers. Yeah, so for whatever reason, that's just how it is, My my products have always been like that. They've just been like more weekday stronger sellers. I don't know if more people are at the computer or something, but that's been just kind of how it is. But no, I don't turn off my ads ever. Electrifying stunt. I like that lion. Is it still worth starting Amazon business with this pandemic going on? I just graduated high school, want to do this for a living. Yeah, I've talked about this before in different live streams, you can see, but as terrible as COVID is, it's like the silver lining of COVID is for Amazon sellers. Because everybody who would shop in stores is now shopping online. And you're going to see this Q4 that there's no Black Friday in stores, and all those raging wild animals at Walmart, they're all going to be online and buying. So it's funny. It seems like every few days I get a notification that Amazon has gone live in another country. Like I think Sweden just came on board. Like it's just growing so fast. So yeah, the pandemic is probably the best thing that's ever happened for Amazon. All right. Hussein says, what's up from Germany? What would you recommend for a late 2020, early 2021 launch? Anything we should do different with the virus happening? I don't think anything you should do different. I think, one of the things you just got to be, my initial concerns when I hear that is you're going to have to be aware of Chinese New Year, because Chinese New Year comes pretty quick after Q4. That early 2021, Chinese New Year was all factories shut down for like 2 to 3 weeks. And so if you're launching early 2021, late 2020, you're going to be very conscious of when your reorder point is, because your reorder point is going to have to be, you're going to have to be on top of that so you don't miss your spot, okay? So other than that, no, I don't think anything else too crazy that you should look into. What's up, Jasmine? Do you do any rebates or reviews from friends and family? No, I don't. How much on average do I spend on PPC a month? This varies, but I can show you one thing real quick. I can show you I can show you this month how much I've spent on PPC, and I'll probably surprise you. Let's see here. So 30 days, last 30 days, and then I will do a breakdown, my PPC. Just give me 1 second and I'll show you. So my Ppc fees were, okay, so I have 2 on here. Let me see here. So this weird one that says manually tracked at the top, that's AMS, $7,600. And then I have PPC right here, which is about $60,000. So 2.2 million in sales, $60,000 in PPC spend at, so here we go. Let's see here, 30 days. You can see here at the top, $742,000 profit, and spent about 60 something, maybe close to $70,000 on PPC. AC asks, do I offer consultations? So I don't do one-on-one consultations, but I do have a training. And if you're interested in learning more about that, there is a link down below with a 25-minute video that kind of goes over like my story and also what I have to offer. Petra, Tim, I've been following your content. You rock. Thank you, sir. Anya says, how many active SKUs ASINs do you currently usually have? Can you share a range? Yeah, so I have about 125 or so active ASIN SKUs, and I have another 70 on the way. So I'm gonna get to 200 here pretty soon. Suchit says, hey Tim, I found one product, only 2 sellers are selling it, one with 700 reviews and one with 36. Making 10,000 per month of sales, but main keyword search volume is below 1,000. What should be my lookout? So your first thing you need to look at is something like this: is with the product that's selling $10,000 per month, are you gonna have enough capital to keep it in stock? Like, I see a lot of videos online on YouTube where people are like, notice how I find a $50,000 product in 10 minutes. Every product on the front page of every search is doing over $50,000 sales, okay? Every single one. And even if a product is doing $50,000 in sales, if you can't keep that product in stock, then you have no business even trying to go after those whales, okay? So if you have a product has 2 sellers, one has 7 reviews and one with 36, making 10,000 per month of sales, the first thing you got to do is make sure that you can keep it in stock, because you're gonna have to do your initial order and shipping, and then halfway through that, you're gonna have to do a reorder. So understand how much that cash flow is, okay? Second thing, you said the main search keyword is below 1,000. That's probably incorrect if it's doing that many sales. So what I would do is I would look in the product title, especially towards the front of the title in those two listings, and see if there's a main keyword phrase that you can pull and find, and then see if there are other keywords. Typically, products that sell a lot have more than 1,000 search keyword volume. Not always, okay? And if 1,000 search keyword volume is it, then that's no problem. Now, if somebody is in there with 36 reviews and they're competing with the guy with 700, then I don't see why you can't also go in there and take a piece of that pie, right? Sonia says, please explain about the accelerator program. The IP accelerator, I think that's what you're talking about, is just a way to be able to get your trademark and to file a trademark, get brand registry in 2 weeks with an approved Amazon attorney. And then you get brand registry real quick and you get all those extra features. And that's about it. I think I actually did a video on this, I believe. Peach Fuzz, hey Tim, love the work you do. Keep it up. Thank you. Manila, Philippines. Yeah. I was there last October. Curtis says, hi Tim, digging into products have identified something awesome. However, there are a lot of other sellers who are all killing it and have high reviews. We can improve, however. Go for it. Look for your worst case scenario, my friend. Who is selling the worst? And can you do a better job than those guys? And if you can, there's probably a decent chance that you'll be okay. All right, especially if you can do what you said, we can improve it. I mean, will I worry about Amazon seller, Amazon competition on my first product? You might. Competition is part of capitalism, so you might, but I wouldn't worry too much about it, especially if you have a really good product. How do you calculate return rates before entering a market? You really can't. You can't. But if you go on Google and you type in like the average return rate of a product, most products are probably gonna be right around there. Albert says, hey Tim, I updated my current batch or listing, but my current photos do not reflect the changes, especially the main image. Okay, so sometimes it'll be locked in there and you have to actually message seller support and say like, hey, I'm trying to update my pictures. I'm the brand owner. Here are my pictures. Here's proof that I'm the brand owner, and then they will go ahead and update the listing. What do you think of Thras.io? Can you beat those guys? So that's like apples to oranges. I'm one guy with 3 people that work with me on a, let's say, close to $20 million a year Amazon business. Thras.io is a large business that buys other businesses, and they have a very high valuation. You also got to remember is like when you buy another business, like they're buying other people's businesses, right? They're paying 2.5, let's say, their yearly earnings. So they're banking on that they could probably improve the product or improve and get more sales out of it, and that in 2.5 years they'll make all their money back that they paid for it and then start making the profit from there. That's not my business model, is to buy up everybody else's business. My business model is to just purely run a lean, efficient team and scale as fast as possible. And if you look at what I've done scaling as a single person and nobody else, I don't have anybody else who owns part of my company. It's just me. I own 100% of it, and just with 3 people, it's gonna be pretty hard to beat. But again, it's a totally different business model. I think those guys are really smart. In fact, they just picked up Casey from Viral Launch, and they're gonna get even better. I know 2 people, 2 really high level sellers who sold their Amazon businesses, and Thras bought them. What methods do I use to go after initial reviews? The biggest thing is just using that request review button, having an insert, having a great product. That's the biggest thing. Pepra says, I've been doing private label for a while, but I'm struggling to get sales. PPC and ranking are my weak points. Need pointers? I'm looking to join your course soon, by the way. Well, I'm sorry that you're struggling a little bit. Let me see here. PPC is your weak point. And ranking. just a couple tips on PPC. Just make sure you're utilizing negative keywords if you have irrelevant keywords showing up, or ASINs that are showing up. If you're getting a bunch of clicks on keywords like 15 or more with no sales, turn down those bids. With ranking, if you can't rank using PPC, you might try a ranking service. Other than that, those are like a couple main key pointers that I can tell you. How many products you currently sell? Over 125. Let's see here. Just had a minor epiphany. The 200 limit is per ASIN, not per vendor. Is that correct? Correct. It's per ASIN. So it's also per variation. So if you have like a t-shirt, you came out and you came with a red, a blue, a green, every single one of those gets 200. When you launch a product, do you use external traffic? If yes, do you use Facebook, Google? No, I mainly just use PPC. Sometimes I use a launch service. Worst case scenario, Facebook ads, but I haven't really noticed that. A lot of people try to overcomplicate this process. Let's see here. Mr. Waji, what's the best way to grow with restricted cash flow? I have killer products, just can't keep with the demand. You got to use credit cards, or you got to find a way to get a loan. So, talk to your credit union, your local credit union. You might talk to family. There are those companies that do the payout in advance. I'm not really a fan of those because they cost an arm and a leg, but that's really it. So that's all you can do. Work some OT, try to get some more money there too. When applying for brand registry through Accelerator program, do you have to have the brand on the box and the package products such as hang tag, or do you have to have both get approved? Ooh, this has been, let me think. That one I'm not 100% sure on. I know that I have some of my people who just went through it and did that. That's a great question. If I come with the answer, I'll let you know. Do you offer training for more advanced sellers? I don't need startup help. I guess the most advanced is you'll get access to me in live streams and you can ask me the most advanced questions there are. But my training, it's for people who sell too. And there's always like, I think in any training, especially like, okay, so you're just in my training, you get to see how my mind works, like my process. And when you hear me go live every single week, you get to hear me, talk a little more unfiltered versus compared to YouTube here. And so, how many tips do I need to give someone like yourself to make the whole thing worth it? Maybe even just one tip, to be honest. I'm chatting with manufacturers, trading companies on Alibaba, and I'm finding they don't always give direct answers to whether they can customize a product. There's a lot of back and forth about pricing and MOQ, but I find they rarely just come out and tell me if they can customize color, for example, or they hide in the fact they can't or don't know. I think a lot of times they're just posturing, and they're also just trying to see like, what are you doing? What's this person? Are they serious? Are they not? Is this a waste of time? So sometimes you just got to like present yourself as an authority that they should recognize. Jasmine says, Master Tim, thank you for always updating us on what's new on Amazon during Tuesday's live sessions. It's very valuable. With your training, I found my first 2 niche products ready for production soon. Woohoo, Jasmine, I want you to share that. Share that win in the group. Best launch service in your opinion? I like Rebate Key for now. What's the lifespan of product? How many of your products have you phased out? I phased out none. My first product still sells. Check this out. So I showed you my one account with 2 million sales. My first product is like this very small brand, very small, and I have it on its own account. but I'll show you this. So this is my other, this is my first brand that I ever had with my first product. You can see where I ran out of stock. So 40,000 on that account. So I showed you the $2.2 million account, but as you can see here, I have a $40,000 account, another one, and then I have another account that's around probably close to 300,000. Can you talk about the 200 ASIN unit limit? We need to order 1,000 units for our first order. Will Amazon allow it? They won't allow it. So what you're gonna have to do is send your 200 in, and then you keep your 800 either in China still. If you're air shipping, it could be fine. They're keeping it in China. Send it to a 3PL warehouse. If it's a small item, you can send it to yourself. And then as you start selling, they'll allow you to make larger quantity shipments, and then you trickle it in. And then by after that first full 1,000 shipment, you probably, if you can get some traction on your next order, you can probably send it direct to Amazon. Not have to do any of that other stuff. If you have any experience selling but a limited budget, would you go for a single product making 20K a month or multiple products making 5K for this Q4? If you have a limited budget, I'd probably diversify it a little bit. So go for the lower price one. That way, if you mess up on the one, you kind of, it's all eggs in one basket. Whereas if you go for multiple at the 5K, you mess up on two, but you get three of them right, you're still okay. Tristan says, I sell a product in the party niche. All right, let's see here. I sell a product in the party niche. I was selling well in June and July, but has started to slow. Nothing has changed, so I cannot work out why. I decided to relaunch. So Tristan, you also got to realize like what's happened in June, July. Is that like graduation? You know? So you got to also kind of figure that out too. Party niche is definitely seasonal. So you got to know when your seasons are. And the big thing is you can just look at a lot of the competitors. And if their sales have all dropped too, it's just slower season. So Aurora, she's actually one of my people who work on my actual Amazon account itself. She knows so much. She has answered the brand register question. It says, I think the pictures just need to clearly indicate the product belongs to the brand packaging. So show pictures of the product inside the branded package. All right, so that's for the IP accelerator question. Thank you, Aurora. Matt says, how do you launch multiple accounts without being triggered by Amazon? Already asked seller support. All they stated is, allow, just need a different bank account and credit card. Yeah, so I reached out to Amazon. Actually, in my training, I have a document that shows exactly what to say to them in order for them to approve it. And then after you get approval for your extra account, then all you have to do is do exactly what you said. It's like different bank account, different credit card. And then you can use the same computer and log in. So you ask for permission. Like I said, in my training, I have a document that says exactly what to say, and they'll say yes to it like every single time. Then you set it up like they say, and then you're good to go. John says, would you ask the manufacturer to store other 800 units or a 3PL in China? So I would not ask a 3PL in China. The reason I say if you're air shipping your product, that means you can get it relatively quickly from China when you need it. All right. So a lot of Chinese manufacturers will allow you to just store the 800 at their warehouse free of charge. And then you just tell them, I'll be shipping it out gradually, right? But if they're not willing to do that, then you want to find a 3PL that's locally or near the fulfillment center that typically will be where you're shipping your products in. All right, so thank you everyone for attending. I'm going to pick out a winner now. So in order to have a chance at winning, you had to follow me on Instagram, Private Label Masters. I'll give it 2 minutes real quick if you go on there. And I'm just going to pick a name. All right. Let's see here. We've been live for 1 hour and 22 minutes. I hope this has given you guys a lot of value. refresh this. All right. I'm just going to pick one on here. Let's see here. All right, so the winner is I don't know who this is, but here's our winner. All right. Will 16. All right. Will 16. So send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll get your address and I'll send you something. All right. So I had Will 16. So it doesn't if you have followed me on Instagram and I didn't pick you, it doesn't mean you're not gonna win something. All right. My next video, I'm gonna pick out 1 to 3 people and I'm gonna send them something special too. All right. So Will, if this is you, if you don't contact me by the end of the day, I'm gonna pick another person. I'm just gonna DM them. All right. Anyways, you guys, remember, keep killing it. For everybody who is sitting on the fence, reach out and take the life of your dreams. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You have to go out and get it. And the way you go out and give it is showing that you're worthy of it. And that's by reaching out and pushing yourself to do it. All right. I'll show you guys one last update on the sales. And I will keep this up on the YouTube channel so you guys can watch it. And let me get here real quick. So that's where I'm at, 2.2 million. All right. And if I show you the profit for today, I'm at $14,000 profit today. And if I show you the profit for the last 7 days, $212,000 profit last 7 days. So now's the time to get in. Now's the time to get in. If you guys are interested in learning from me, there's a link in the description with a 25-minute video that shows exactly what it entails, learning from me with the Private Label Masters training. You guys, thank you so much. Remember, wear your mask. It shows you care about other people, all right? Take care. I wish you guys a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.